Today I'm going to be showing you these 3 healthy recipes with ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen. So let's get started. First off, we have carrot cake bars, and for this you're going to need half a cup of oat flour, a quarter cup of coconut sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ginger, a quarter teaspoon of cloves, quarter teaspoon nutmeg, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons baking powder, and half a cup of rolled oats. Now quickly just combine the dry ingredients. For wet, we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of shredded carrots, flax eggs, which is just 1 tablespoon of flax meal to 3 tablespoons of water. Combine them and let them thicken. 1 tablespoon of applesauce and a quarter cup of coconut oil and a dash of salt. Then we just combined the wet and the dry together and mix it up until you get a consistency that looks like this, where everything is well combined. Now I used a loaf pan to bake this, and make sure that you spray it down or oil it, butter it, whatever you prefer, and then place your batter into your pan. And we're going to bake it at 350 for 30 minutes. And while that bakes, we're going to melt 1 cup of white chocolate and a little bit of coconut oil to make it a little smoother. Melt that over a stove top until it looks a little bit like this. Once your bar is cooled, you're going to add the chocolate on top and just smooth it out. And we're going to freeze it for 1 hour. Now by this point, if your chocolate has hardened a little too much, I'm just cutting the edges off first to make it a little nicer. But as you can see, the chocolate split because it was too hard, so it's better to saw it here like I'm doing now instead of cutting right through. And there you go. Add a little bit of carrots on top if you'd like to for some garnish to make it look a little more cute. But there you have it, carrot cake bars. Right, up next we have double chocolate brownies, and for this we are going to need 4.5 tablespoons of cocoa, half a cup of coconut sugar, and then just quickly combine these 2 ingredients together. Then we're adding half a cup of maple syrup, 3/4 coconut oil, and again just combine those. Then for the remainder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/3 oat flour, half a cup of white flour, a dash of salt, and 3 flax eggs. And we're just going to combine everything. Until it looks a bit like this. And again, grease your loaf pan or whatever kind of pan you'd like to use. And we were baking at 350 for 30 minutes. And while that is baking, we will cut up some fruit to go on top. So just half your cherries and take out the pits. And I also use some strawberries. Make sure you cut them in half so you get that pretty finished look. And again, we're going to melt some chocolate over the stove. Find any kind of dark chocolate that you like. I used 90%. Add a little bit of coconut oil and melt it down. Now make sure to use parchment paper for this so that the chocolate doesn't get everywhere. Put your brownie in the parchment paper and begin adding your fruit. I did a line of cherries and then a line of strawberries. And then, once that's done, you can put chocolate on top of it. And then we're going to freeze it for 1 hour. Now by this point, the chocolate should be pretty settled, and we're ready to cut it. This one cuts a lot better. And there you go. There's a double chocolate brownie. Next we have peanut butter pretzel bites. Now we're gonna get a bag of pretzels, any kind will do. And we're just gonna put them in a bag because we have to crush them. So we'll need 1 3/4 cups of crushed pretzel. And to that we are going to add 1/4 and 1/8 cup of coconut oil. Mix that together. And this is gonna be a base. So again, use parchment paper to line so everything freezes together properly. Now for the top, we are going to have 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of plant-based milk, 3 tablespoons maple syrup, 1 tablespoon oat flour, and combine all of those together. Now get your base and put your top on it. Smooth it out. And put pretzels on top for garnish. You can do this, or maybe peanuts if you'd like, whatever you prefer. Now I froze mine, but I highly recommend not doing that because it was very, very hard to cut and it made it, as you can see, very crummy at the bottom. If you've ever had party cake, it's a little something like that, which is a lot better cooled but not frozen. Better to eat with a fork as well. There you have it. 3 really healthy recipes with ingredients you probably already have. Thank you for watching.